everyone, today we are going to be creating a tree where we focus on what we call the negative space. So that is not the tree itself, but the space behind it, between the branches. And we're going to be shading that negative space with analogous colors. Now, analogous colors are colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So any three colors next to each other are analogous. You can pick maybe your favorite color to start with. So if I decide I really like violet, then I would want to do red, violet, violet, blue, violet. Or if I really like blue-green, then I would like to do green, blue, green, blue, which is actually what I did in this one. Now, I'm going to be showing this to you with colored pencils, and I'll talk a little bit about blending colored pencils, but if you want to use something else instead, some things blend better than others, so paint would work pretty well. You could do chalk, but chalk can be kind of messy. Markers don't blend as well, so they're a little bit harder to use. You could definitely use crayon. Crayon can work very similar to colored pencils. So if you don't have colored pencils, my next recommendation would be crayons. Now, they come in only so many colors. I have, I think, a 24 pack here, so I'm probably going to be able to find these colors. Just do the best you can. So I think I am going to do, let's see if I can do red as my starting point. So I'm going to grab the red pencil here, and then I think we're looking at red orange right here, and then I think this is probably going to be the closest I get to red violet, which is magenta, so that would be accurate. It's a little bit lighter than the other two, but that's okay. So these are going to be my colors that I use when I am coloring. Now, to start with the tree, what we want to do is we want to very lightly draw these first few steps because we're not keeping these lines. So we need to be able to erase them. So don't press hard. If you practice kind of how hard you're pressing on your hand, it's almost like you're tickling your hand. So you want to be real light with the pencil. So the first line you're going to make is going to go all the way across from one corner to the other. If you don't want it to be completely straight, you can give a little bend to your tree too. And then you're going to want to add 4 to 6 large branches. So those are going to come from the tree trunk, and they're going to go out towards the edges of the paper. Make sure every line you make goes all the way to the edge. And then I'm going to do one here. I like to kind of offset them so they're not coming out at the same spot. All right. Now you're going to draw between 6 and 8 smaller branches. So those smaller branches are usually going to come off your larger branches, like this. You could add another branch off the tree trunk as well if you wanted. So let's see, that's 4. I'm doing here 5, 6, and then I'm going to do 7 right there. Okay, now in the fourth step here, we are going to outline around the tree using the lines that we've created. So when you're near the tree trunk and the large branches, you want those lines to get a little bit farther away. When you're near these smaller branches, you want them to be a little bit closer. So I'm going to start pretty far away because this is the tree trunk here and the large branch, and then I'm going to get so much closer when it's the small branch. So you're just kind of making sort of a bubble around your tree. And I am pressing a lot harder on this so you can see the difference. You don't necessarily have to press harder than this. Oh, I'm back to the tree trunk, so I want to be farther away and then get a little closer when you get to those smaller branches. And you'll notice I'm always going all the way to the edge of the paper. Now, once you get done doing this, you're going to be erasing that line in the middle. That's one of the reasons why we didn't want to draw real hard with that line, because we need to be able to erase it. All right, almost done here. Now I'm going to go back to here. So tree trunk really big, going to get a little bit more narrow, and then kind of come real close. Okay, so hopefully you've got a good eraser, but basically you're just going to go and you're going to go back and you're going to erase out all the lines that are inside the tree. And if you press lightly, they should come off pretty quickly. If you can't get rid of the lines in the middle of your tree at the end, you could always take maybe a black marker and color your tree in completely black instead. That can help with that. It's still focusing on the negative space since the tree would be all black. So, all right, so I'm gonna shake that off, get rid of all those erasers. Now I'm ready to start doing my shading. So when I'm doing the coloring, I'm always gonna start with, always do those colors in order. So I'm gonna be going from red, orange to red to magenta, which is red, violet. So I'm gonna do that in every space. So when I start, it helps to kind of use the side of the pencil rather than the tip. It gets a little bit softer that way. And you just wanna do your very best coloring inside the lines. Now, I'm gonna go about 1/3 of the way up. Make sure I leave space for the other two colors. And then I'm gonna kind of lightly color the edge of that so that I've got a little bit of a lighter version, and that'll make it easier to go into the next color. So then I'm gonna color with the regular red here. I'm gonna kind of do 1/3 of the space with the regular red, and then I'm gonna go back and kind of lightly blend that regular red into the red-orange, so that it's a little bit more gradual. We call this a gradient, where it gradually changes from one color to the other. And my red, orange, and my red are fairly similar. It's just Crayola makes them a certain way. So I could probably go back and maybe do that more with a regular orange than the red orange there, but it's okay for this. All right, so now I'm gonna finish up the top part. Well, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to leave that lighter edge again. So I'm gonna use that regular red and kind of leave that lighter edge. So I'm not pressing as hard to do that. And then I can go back with the magenta now and sort of fill that in so that it gradually changes from one color to the other. Now, I'm not loving this space here, so I might actually kind of go back and actually switch this color up. So you could probably do that too if you needed to. I'm gonna go back and actually use the orange here to get a little bit more of a color change. That red orange pencil was just a little bit too close to the red. There. All right, so then I'm just kind of repeating that in each of these spaces around the tree branches. So then I start in the next space here, and I'm doing that same way. So I'm gonna color about 1/3 of the space with now my orange, since the red orange was a little too close. And then along the edge, I wanna go kind of lightly so that it's a little bit more blendable. And then jump to my red and color the next 1/3 with that red. And then lightly kind of blend that red into the orange. And I'm gonna make that light edge again on the red. All right, and then finish up with the magenta. Edges can be kind of tough with these pencils. So that's how it goes. And then you're just gonna keep doing that in each space until you have finished up all of the spaces around your tree like this. All right, I hope you have fun. I'll see you later.